Welcome in, everybody, to Extreme Radio, presented by GracePointe Healthcare. Go to GracePointeHealthcare.com. Mention you're with 8-Man Extreme when you request your appointment online. You get $20 off your new patient office visit fee. GracePointe Healthcare, modern medicine the old-fashioned way. Also sponsored by Dr. Sterling Foster. Go to drsterlingfoster.com for all your digestive issues and chiropractic needs.
One of the last shows of the year.
One of them.
You know what I'm looking forward to seeing next Sunday
Jets Pizza.
and Monday once we're down at why? I'm trying.
2 more sponsors.
I'm trying. I got plenty of time. I'm trying to go through. Hang on. Work with me, okay? You know what I'm looking forward to seeing?
This whole season,
what they have. I guess I could Google it, but I want to be surprised. I want to see if there's any Jets Pizza down at Panama City.
There probably is.
When we go down there. Okay, I don't know if there's one in Dayton either. We need to see if there's one in Dayton. But, hey, no matter where you are, whether you're in Panama City Beach, Dayton, or you're up here in Middle Tennessee, specifically Springfield, Clarksville, Fort Campbell, and coming soon to Goodlettsville, Jets Pizza, it's never a bad time to say let's get Jets. Never a bad time. And it's never a bad time to have a great deal on insurance. We're going to do a lot of traveling this weekend. You got to be covered. The best way to get covered is to go check out our guy, Joe Graves, with IHateBuyingInsurance.com. Just see what he can do for you. Let him give you a quote. Just go to the website. It's easy to remember. A guy like me, I need an easy-to-remember website. IHateBuyingInsurance.com. Bam. Done.
Doesn't look like they have one in Panama City yet. Doesn't mean they won't get one. But
what about Panama City Beach?
No. Let's see. They've got a Pompano Beach, Palmetto, Port Charlotte, Royal Palm Beach.
I just realized you never hooked me up to the Wi-Fi.
St. Petersburg, maybe. Oh, just
St. Petersburg is Tampa.
There's also a Tampa one. There's 2 different ones. I'm just listing out
so
some
it's
that
not
I've seen
in
here.
the Panhandle.
Yeah,
it's in mainland.
There's one in Lakeland. There is one in Jacksonville. There is a
that's not even close.
Fort Myers, Lauderdale,
no,
Estero.
That's Miami.
Destin.
Do you even know what a map, bro?
I never took geography in high school and middle school. They never taught us. They
never made you take geography.
They didn't implement geography as a course until I was in sophomore year. They didn't have a geography course. They had social studies, but not geography.
My God, I was homeschooled.
Destin?
No.
Cape Coral?
No.
I'm just listing out ones here. Boca Raton?
No.
I'm just listing the ones that are in Florida, so it doesn't look like any.
Okay, here's what's in the Panhandle: Pensacola and Panama.
Yeah, they don't have one in either of those cities. There should be, though.
There should be. And
nice,
guess what?
Nice
there is one up here in Middle Tennessee.
Of course,
there's multiple.
There's a lot
all over the place.
There's a lot.
Plenty of places to get your Jets Pizza.
What a championship game! We had a debate about this off air of which was a more letdown championship per se, but this year or last year. There's a better way of wording it, but which championship was more of a down year, I guess, than this year or last year? My vote and Isaiah's vote are this year's because of it being one-sided ever since the start of the second quarter. But James's argument was last year because of the on-paper competition.
Well, no, I mean you look at what Webb brought to the table. You look at what CCS brought to the table. One team was stacked with seniors. The other one had some seniors, had some really good freshmen, and they just laid an egg in the championship. I mean, it was a shutout.
I mean, it was a shutout. My argument is
this championship. Everyone, I picked CCS. But everyone knew how the game could go if they weren't able to keep up. Everyone kind of knew what was coming. Last year, you didn't see that. You cannot tell me you saw that coming.
I thought it was going to be more contested. Yeah, but
so it was a letdown.
No, I didn't see that coming. It wasn't a letdown because look, here's the deal. I don't do predictions.
Okay.
I don't support. Usually, it's a letdown when you have a specific team. Like if you're a Chiefs fan today, that was a huge letdown to lose to the Titans.
How about them Titans?
But for me, it was that, like we said, we kind of knew that from the first rematch between the first match between Ezel and CCS, how it was going to go down, especially because of the North kind of being downwards. Yeah, with Ezel, we kind of knew. Yeah, we kind of knew.
It's hard to beat a team twice.
Yeah, it's hard to be a team twice. Yeah, we knew almost what was going to happen. and it ended 58-22. But my argument is that I like defensive-heavy games, and that's what CCS did. They had
We're
a
not
defensive-heavy game
asking
in
what type of.
2018.
We're not asking if the game was the type of game you liked. We're asking which game. If you're from another state, you look at on paper how the game should have gone this year and last year.
No, that's not the question. You're asking on paper before it actually happened what it looked like. The question is, which was a bigger letdown?
After experiencing it and knowing the build-up to both games, you're still saying this year was a bigger letdown.
I'm saying it was more of a. I'm trying to remember because I don't think that's the way you worded the question initially. Letdown. No.
Which game was a bigger letdown? That's exactly what I said.
I'd say this one was more disappointing because I'm pretty sure you asked which was No, your question was which was a worse championship, this year or last year.
Okay, fine.
That was the question you asked, and then rephrasing it to letdown.
This year go with the original.
This year was a worse championship in my opinion than last year.
No.
Because even though there was a shutout, it was lower scoring because when you got down the stretch, the rest of that Webb CCS game, there was more intense action. There were still athletic plays.
Webb
really
still didn't score. They still couldn't move the ball.
And yeah, they moved it down. You remember that first offensive drive Webb had last year where they almost scored and they were down inside of the 10-yard line?
Almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
But what I'm saying is it was exciting. It was thrilling till at least the final 6 minutes of the fourth for Webb CCS.
Oh,
At least
the game was over at halftime.
At least no, it was not because there was not a running clock in 2018. There was not a running clock.
But you saw how ineffectively Webb moved the football in that first half. They could not. They inched it. They could not move the football.
They still put up more of a fight than CCS did against EZO. Both of them put in great fight, but at least in terms of
I'm not lying with. I'm not disagreeing with you on that.
I believe it was more of a worse championship this year than last year. That's just my opinion. And I would love for Isaiah to be in studio right now, but he went to the Titans
game. Titans game.
Good on him. But good on him. I tried to go meet Jim Nance. Guy didn't respond to my email, but
he's a busy man.
He is. No, not Jim. I didn't email him. It was another guy within the Titans organization. Emailed him, didn't get a response.
He's a busy man
too.
Yeah,
exactly. All of them are busy. But I would love for Isaiah to be in here. But now, granted, it's a championship. It was still a pleasure to call, still a pleasure to do prize presentations, all of that. But just my opinion, it was more disappointing this year because of the mercy rule running, because that's the first time we've seen a mercy rule run in the championship in a long time.
No, it's not.
When was the last time?
Well, in a while, yeah.
When was the last time?
The last time would have been
It's a long time ago.
2016.
Was it Sacred Heart
and Webb?
Well, now, granted, what was the one before that then?
The one before that would have been 2013 with Webb and Aaron Academy.
So that it's been a while.
2011 would have been the next one. That was my senior year. That was when Classical whooped up on us.
It was a long time ago, basically. The only reason I say before
they're well spaced out.
The only reason I say before 2016 is because of all that went down with that. But it's mercy rule. Yeah,
all of that went down.
Mercy rule. That's the first time we've had a mercy rule since 2016, 2013. So that's why I'd say it was a worse championship this year because of the mercy rule being run, except for as opposed to last year where it was 24-0. Webb still had some decent offensive plays. When Shamar Frey balled, it was fantastic. When him and Avante Harris, they were fantastic. Even though there were no scores, they tried to set up opportunities for their team. It was decent.
How about this? How about
first state championship for Ezel Harding?
How about 2013 and 2016 championship games?
Mm-hmm.
None of those teams are in the league anymore.
Yeah.
Aaron Academy, Webb, and Sacred Heart.
Yep.
We say Sacred Heart, but
not in the league as of this
so 2011, CCS lost to Classical 58-6.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it very well. Very well. Because we lost to them 46-13 earlier in the year at our place. We lost to Curry Ingram.
Mm-hmm.
Still remember that game.
But, yeah, Ezel Harding, congratulations.
No seniors season should end like that.
But how about the seniors for Ezel Harding
for
their first season in 8-man football, especially for Derek Griffin to get? How about him getting the MVP? How about Derek Griffin?
Well deserved.
He was great. I mean, that was the one thing I would have liked to see a little more in the championship game was Kadarius Price get more touches on the ball. He had some decent contact touch, but imagine if he had turned on the Jets. But most of the time, the options were doing.
He still touched the ball.
I'd like to see the stats
as much
from
as
that
he
game.
needed to.
Let me see if they have updated their stats
Well,
yet.
hey, just pull up the article. Just pull up the article I sent y'all earlier. Great article by MainStreetPreps.com covering the championship. By the way, 2016. There was no running clock because the biggest lead at
Max Prep still has that game reported as they beat Lancaster in the championship.
Yeah,
I think somebody's
messing with CCS.
Yeah, either that or something happened on there. Let me see if they have any
so
stats
2016 yet. Would not have been running clock. 2013 they beat Aaron Academy 53-0. Webb beat Aaron Academy 53-0.
Okay.
So so last night was it was 58-22.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean CCS got
what was it? 50-6 at the start of the first half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it started second half.
Yeah, second.
It was 0-0 at the start of the first half.
That's true. But for Christian community, I mean, I asked it on broadcast, and Isaiah gave the true answer to it is that if a typical fan asks if the dynasty is over, the answer is no, because Christian community still has Coach Flanders there. They still have Tommy Thornton.
They still made it to the championship.
They still made it to the championship, even though it was a weak year for the North Division, especially with it getting down to 4 teams. I mean, they still have great weapons. They've got a lot of sophomores rising up to juniors next year, and knowing CCS and how well they are with partial recruiting, but how well coached they are. I mean, CCS, their dynasty's not over. It's just that Ezel Harding, with the high standard they've held in 11-man football for their club and the organization, the way they run for a TWS
overall, not in the last few years.
Well, I mean,
but the reputation
just because they've lost, just because they've had losing seasons, doesn't mean they're not held to a high standard. But because TSSAA is a higher standard that sports clubs hold to each of them than MTAC, at least at this point, it's shaping towards that way. But at least for Ezel Harding, to go to 8-man football and such, the high standard that's held. I mean, for the Eagles, for them to go from 11-man to 8-man, I even said it where the fans cheered. I said I think it was a good idea to go to 8-man football. First championship in 18 years.
If Grace and Zion Christian were watching, that move to 8-man looked pretty good for Ezel. Hey, it's the truth. It worked out pretty well for Ezel Harding.
Okay, yeah. So no stats put up for those.
I got the I literally said pull up the article. Derek Griffin, 8 carries, 261 yards. He was 2 for 2 for 67 yards passing. Total to 5 touchdowns. So he ran for 261 yards. Kadarius Price had 133 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns himself. I mean, the correct person got the MVP award.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you had Alex Valbuena have just a boss game as a sophomore.
Yep. Teams
have to deal with him for the next 2 years. I mean, this is Josh Austin all over again, and he might be better than Josh as a junior senior. He might be better than him this year. But teams still have to deal with him for the next 2 years.
I really like the quote on the article from Coach Flanders on here. Our goal was to get here. We probably should have made our goal to win it, but our goal was to get back here, and we did with these guys. We had a shot, and we just weren't able to come up on top this time. Congrats to Ezel. They have a tremendous team, tremendous guys. I'll be happy to see some of those seniors go though. Man, they're tough to tackle. I mean, for Coach Flanders, I mean, he's 1-3 in MTAC championships, but he's still made it to 4 championships.
4 championships. There's teams
incredible.
There's teams that haven't made it to 1.
Exactly. Several of those. I mean, Riverside had a chance. They're one of the teams. But
by the way, huge shout out to Mr. Joel Klinger.
Yep.
Reporting the game last night, like I said, for Main Street Preps. Great article, great job. Shout out to Chad Withrow, TennesseeHighSchoolFootball.com, for posting the preview written by Isaiah Austin.
Yep.
Did a great job with it. So, a lot of coverage, a lot of press coverage, and hopefully it just grows. I mean, I would think that, the way that this story goes, having someone that was decently covered move to 8-man, still get covered to an extent.
Yep.
And then win the state championship. That's a great story.
That's incredible.
That's a great story, and it's great for 8-man.
And you know what? It's a great story. It's still being written.
The downside is now you have, these schools that struggle to get your 10 guys out for the team, 13 guys out. Now they're looking at the potential for all these other schools to come in. These powerhouse schools like Ezell and Lancaster. You got to hope it doesn't push them out.
Right.
That's the big concern here is, teams that have been part of it and have been through it, you don't want them to feel like, oh, we're not welcome anymore just because these big dogs are coming in and dominating. And I don't think that's the case. I think teams will say, hey, look, we've got better competition now. I think that's the way you have to look at it, is there's much better competition.
I think you missed what I said earlier, but it's a great story for Ezell. It's not over.
Well, no, I didn't miss what you said. I just had another point.
Yeah, you had another point.
We don't need to get there yet. That's coming.
Yeah, it's not over. It's
coming.
not over though, because the NHSA tournament's coming up. Ezell's going to it, so it's going to be fantastic.
It's getting there.
So again, congratulations to the Eagles, first state championship in 18 years, and looking to get a national title. If they have the chance to play for that. And, of course, for CCS, they go into the offseason in second place, but, of course, they get back there, getting back to the championship, appearing in 4 of the last 5, and looking to go for 5 of the last 6 going into 2020.
You know what I just realized?
Depends on how the honestly, one thing I do want to talk about is the division structure. Because at the moment, depending on if the teams come back or not, it's going to be interesting.
Do you have a quarter, by the way?
I'll find one. I'll find a coin somewhere.
Well, if you don't have a coin, I have.
All I have
coins.
I can also activate and flip a coin with Siri.
No.
So, yeah, you can do that.
No, you flip a.
You don't
okay.
have
Anyways,
to
we'll go through your point real quick.
But right now, it's only 4 teams in the North: Christian Community, Lighthouse, South Haven, and Bowling Green. The question is if Sacred Heart is going to return next season. Hopefully they will if they get all the players. But who is the team that you think is going to be moved to the North? If it stays with 4 teams in the North, 6 teams in the South,
it has to be Ezell Harding.
Has to.
It has to be. Your Lighthouse is 5 minutes up the road, and they're in the North. Ezell Harding has to get moved.
You don't think Lancaster goes maybe because that's Smyrna a little bit northern towards Nashville? At least
Smyrna is south of Antioch.
It's south of Antioch, yes, but in terms of the rest of the teams in the South, FCA, FCS, Suwannee, Riverside, they're northern compared to those 4 South teams.
Yeah, but so is Ezell Harding.
Yeah, they are. To be fair, the only reason that Ezell was moved into the South was because of Webb.
To replace Webb,
yep,
yeah.
Exactly. But that's the question of why they didn't move,
And here's the other question.
Why don't you move Sacred Heart and Ezell around? Because Sacred Heart is way more south than the rest of those teams.
Because the teams in the South don't like travel.
Apparently. I
think
that's just the sad truth of it.
That's how it is.
But you think it's if it goes to only 10 teams in the conference, Ezell has to go up to the North?
Well, and here's here's the other point is, do you get any new teams?
Yeah.
We just talked about teams that could look at a move to 8-man. So
Grace Christian's got to make the move. They really do. I mean, at this point, Webb.
Well, they haven't had a winning season since they left.
Yeah, since they left MTAC, they haven't had a winning season. They've got to make the move to 8-man football. I really think they do. Because think about how much more success or chance of success they would have if they're playing an MTAC and 8-man football.
All you have to do is look at Ezell.
Exactly. Now they can look at that and say, hey, we can move back, and we'll probably see Webb move back in 2021.
Yeah, they have to sit out another year of their unless they're able to grow off of this year.
That's the question, because it is a losing season this year for them. But if they have a winning season next year, then that's the question of was there a dramatic increase that they're going to continue to go up on?
Well, and the struggle for Webb is it's a boarding school, so your team is literally just now it's you have to pound the pavement, pound the halls. They can get kids from outside from the area. I mean, they did obviously get with guys like Keon Johnson, the basketball player who committed to Tennessee. He's from right there in town.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's something where they were able to get a guy in town.
Right.
But a lot of their kids come from out of town. So,
Bunch of them.
you know, your growth is different than if you're Lancaster in Smyrna and you've got tons of options. But they have to take a look at it. You know, Webb only won one game all year. Their season's over. They only won one game all year, and that was against Grace, who went winless.
Yep.
You also had Zion Christian, who won. I think they won 3 games this year, but they were they weren't anything to really write home about. They beat Grace Christian, winless. They beat the Memphis Nighthawks. I'm just going to leave that right there. What was the Nighthawks record? 3-6. Okay. I'm just going to leave that right there. Sale Creek High School from down near they were 4-5. Sale Creek from down near Chattanooga was 29-28, so they inched that one out. And then they beat East Hickman County 14-8. So, but they also had losses of 47-13, 43-12. Now, they did have a 44-30 loss, 34-20. A lot of close losses, 34-26, 33-21. So, I mean, it was they didn't have the greatest year. But, you know, it's not even in terms of their year. You look at their roster, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 guys on the roster.
Yeah.
At some point, you got to start thinking, you know, how do we protect our players?
Exactly.
So,
not just that, but how do we put them in a position to succeed?
To succeed
for state
so
championship.
and that's the thing of, well, who do they move into the conference? Who moves into the conference? All 3 of those teams would be South teams.
Exactly.
Webb, Grace, and Zion would all be South. So at that point, you get one team moving in. Well, you can move Ezell and you're still fine because you're 5-6. You get 2 teams move in. Now you got to think about, okay, who we're going to move to the north. Sacred Heart comes back. They'll probably end up going to the north.
Even though they shouldn't.
They're going to go to the north. Just that's the way it is.
Yep.
And that's not counting any other new schools starting programs, starting teams. That's saying no one else starts a team.
Who else do you think? Any predictions of who might be starting a team?
I think Heritage Christian out of Hopkinsville, Kentucky should look at it. That's a pretty decent-sized school. I think you have a lot of small schools that are in the conference called TNCAA, Tennessee Christian Athletic Association. I think a lot of those schools should look at it. You always have your Hendersonville Christian.
Yep, they could always start.
They could always come back. I don't know what the status is of that, but they could always bring football back.
How long has it been since they've been out? They were in
just 2 years.
Yeah, that's right. 2 years.
Yeah, it's just
now.
2 years.
It'll be going into the 3rd year.
2 years for them, 3 years for Pleasant View. So
I don't think Pleasant View's ever going to make.
I don't think Pleasant View brings it back. They're just not a football school. So those are all factors that I'm going to really enjoy looking at. And then there's the whole screwball of Providence.
That's the question there.
If Providence comes in, your line isn't at Nashville anymore. It has to go below Nashville.
Yep.
Like even more so than Lighthouse Ezell. It has to go even farther because you have to allow possibly a Franklin team in the north.
That'd be cool. That'd be interesting.
It'd be insane.
Yeah, because again, obviously the Battle of Franklin would still happen, but you have FCA, FCS. They're in the same city. Well, why is this team in the north? Why is this in the south?
Right.
I think Ezell moves to the north next year. Assuming the Heat stays out.
Well, even if the Heat stay out, I still think Ezell could move.
Whether if the Heat stays out, Ezell moves. Sacred Heart doesn't go back to conference, then definitely Ezell moves to the north. And if Providence comes in for varsity football officially next year, which is possible, they come in, they're probably going to be in the south. Even though that line will have to change at some point, they'll probably go into the south.
Well, that's enough talk about next year. That's for another show.
Yeah, that's for next show.
Let's talk about what's coming up this weekend.
Well, we got to go in chronological order, though. So tomorrow, the mock draft, the 2019 Chick-Fil-A All-Star Game is live from Highway 96 Chick-Fil-A, the one newest one in Franklin they just opened.
It's nice.
Used to be a Rite Aid pharmacy down there before Rite Aid got
Thank
bought
God
by
we got a
Walgreens.
Chick-fil-A.
Oh yeah, it's good. It's on that side of town.
Thank God
Right.
we got a
I
Chick-fil-A.
mean, eventually I'm gonna move get closer into the city, but right now that's closer to my home.
I'm gonna go get a quarter.
Of course you are. Gonna go get a coin. Again, we could just flip a coin with our phones.
No, that's not. Oh, here, I'll flip my phone.
Yeah, we
Okay,
you
heads,
got
tails.
an OtterBox. Yeah, exactly.
Nope, that didn't work.
Yeah, heads is the screen and tails is the Apple
That
logo.
didn't work.
Anyway, so the mock draft that's going to be live from the Highway 96 Chick-fil-A off of Murfreesboro Road at 7 p.m. on tomorrow night on Monday. And we will.
I'm excited. This is cool.
Here's the cool thing.
Got
about
to have
it,
the B-Dubs one last year.
Yep.
We will not be doing a spicy wings challenge.
No. Well, I might eat I'll probably eat the spicy sandwich, but it's not to the level of Blazing Wings. It's very tame. It's decent. You combine that with sriracha sauce and maybe some Chick-fil-A sauce. Ooh, some good stuff. But tomorrow,
You're insane.
The sweet and spicy sriracha, it's really good.
You're insane.
The Chick-fil-A sauce is great too.
You don't have a coin in your wallet?
No. Actually, I do.
Do you really?
I do, yeah. Cool thing for you. The penny that I have in my wallet, it's from the year I was born.
Well, you can use a penny. Penny works.
It's still a coin.
I can give you a penny for your thoughts and a quarter to call someone who cares.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But yeah, got a coin prepared. Anyways, so mock draft is tomorrow. James and Isaiah will be announcing the players that are confirmed for the All-Star Game through their draft picks and trying to assemble a dream team in their mind. Even though there's been some cases where on both sides you picked players you think are going to show up in the All-Star Game and then they lay eggs.
Ghost us.
Yeah, they lay eggs.
That's never fun.
Well, I don't even think ghosting.
Well,
I'd say they lay eggs in the game.
I just want to give the coaches some fodder to think about. Coach Brian Hollis from Lighthouse.
Yep.
Coach Steve Adams from FCA.
Yep.
Coach Steve Adams is Team Dotterer with Jackson Dotterer.
Yep.
2016 alum, formerly played for CCS as well.
Yep.
Coach Hollis teaming up on Team Stensby with Dustin Stensby, former Swanee quarterback, 2017 Extreme All-Star Game.
Yep.
Got some good stuff.
It's going to be cool.
And it's going to be a lot of fun. But after Monday, kind of give everybody a rundown real quick of what Thursday and Friday will look like.
Let me pull up the schedule real quick as he's pulling up our
You don't have to give them exact times. Just kind of give them an idea of how everything goes.
Still pulling up
We're also going to have a lot of coverage and stuff. We're going to broadcast the actual draft on Thursday afternoon. Be Thursday about noon.
Yep.
Broadcast the actual draft.
Noon.
Split the teams.
Noon local time.
Noon Eastern. Noon Eastern.
Yeah, because it is separate. But looking at the schedule here, so we got the mock draft. The mock draft is about at 1 p.m. in between 1 and 2 p.m. Local time, so that'll be about in between noon and 1 p.m. over in Central Time, where all the member schools are, and there's just get some practice in, do some cool stuff. Friday for the All-Star Game, we'll probably do. We'll probably broadcast some pickup basketball, something like that. We'll get that configured and such. More practice on Friday. Players get some time to spend with Dayton and such. And then on Saturday, the game starts at 12 p.m. noon, which is 11 p.m. 12 p.m. noon, 11 a.m. Central. So that's when the kickoff is for the 2019 Chick-fil-A Extreme All-Star Game. And a lot of other festivities going on that weekend as well. We head down to Panama City Beach, but the All-Star Game is doing pretty good. So we'll ready to get going for that. So again, between Thursday and Saturday for the 2019 Chick-fil-A Extreme All-Star Game, but it all starts on Monday with the mock draft live from the Highway 96 Chick-fil-A. Looking good. So
let's see if we can't pull this off.
Took a little bit for me to stall on there, but good to go in that regard. So we now have.
Grab your phone real quick.
Oh yeah,
we're gonna Instagram live this as well.
Oh yeah, because you like doing the.
There has to be visual confirmation. By the way, welcome your captains, Mr. Jackson Dotterer, Mr. Dustin Stensby.
What's up?
Welcome in, gents. Going pretty
They're
good.
going to be handling the coin toss. See, that worked out pretty well. So we have a speaker here in studio so that our Instagram people can actually hear the call.
Yep.
So you got Instagram? Are you
And-
doing it?
Yep.
All right.
There's
So
James.
what's up, everybody, on Instagram? So heads. I got heads and tails.
How do we decide who calls the toss? We
Well,
didn't.
no
work
one's going
that
to call
out.
the toss. So, all right.
We did.
Hang on.
Someone called
Okay.
it last year.
All right. I've got a number between 1 and 10. So, Jackson, what do you got?
Let's go 5.
Dustin?
6.
All right. It was 7. So,
Sweet.
you want heads or tails, Dustin?
Tails.
All right. So,
Tails is the call.
tails is the call. If Dustin wins it, then he gets to choose
No,
whether he
you'll
wants.
say that afterwards. Just flip the coin.
Okay. So, here
Just
you
flip the
go.
coin.
It's on Instagram right now.
Tails is the call.
Follow it. Oh, wait.
Well, it went onto the chair.
In the chair, it's heads.
Heads.
Dotterer has it. Now, Jackson gets to decide whether he wants the
First pick
first
in the
overall
draft,
pick or
or
if
to be
you want
team
to
home or away.
be team home or away. Right. If you're team away, you get to call the coin toss in the game.
I'll get first pick.
All right.
All right.
That's
Dotterer's
pretty
got
that's pretty
first pick.
normal.
So,
we might
Stensby.
as well make it to where the coin toss just gives you first
Right.
pick.
So Stensby, do you want to be team home or team away for the All-Star game?
All
Home.
All
right.
right. He makes the
So
decision.
Team
That's the second
Stensby
year
is
in a row.
home. Team Stensby is home. Team Dotterer has first overall pick, so congratulations, Steve Adams and Coach Hollis. All right.
Sweet. Appreciate it.
So coming up on Thursday, we will broadcast the draft from Dayton. We'll see who's the first overall pick. Now, the way this will work is Coach Hollis will have all 4 of his players automatically. That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
And Coach Adams will have his 4 players automatically, and that way you help with the setup.
Yep.
So from there,
Okay.
but those players are picked at the end of the draft. So
Oh, yeah.
there's a lot of talent. I mean, you got Gage Holman, Josh Austin. You've got Avery Harper
Got Aiden
from
Hooper.
CCS. No, Aiden Hooper's with Hollis.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you got some talent.
There's
You got
some good
Riley
talent.
Hall
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Riverside
for
Christian.
sure.
So,
Some good stuff.
all
there.
right. Well, good deal. Team Dotterer has first overall pick. Team Stensby is home. Guys, appreciate y'all taking time to come on.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
All right.
Thank
We'll
you.
see y'all Thursday.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Nice coin toss.
There you go. Hey, that speaker worked out pretty good.
Nice coin
If we
toss.
ever have a live studio audience, we can do that. I already turned it down.
No, I was looking for my coin.
Oh,
I was concerned about that
it's right
more
here.
so than the rest.
sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
I would have put it in my truck.
So, yep, team.
All right. Team Dotterer has the first overall pick.
And
Let-
Team Dotterer is away. So this is the second year in a row that's happened where
So he gets
the
first overall
loser-
pick, and he gets to call the coin toss.
Yeah, exactly. This is the second year it happened in a row because last year it was
Colton.
Tucker
No,
decided
you're right.
to be team home.
You're right.
Yeah, he decided to be with his
So
basically his
Colton-
alma mater.
so Colton
'Cause
got
Stensby
first
was
overall
team
pick.
home, right? Stensby was team home.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
he was
No,
team home.
he was team away.
So he
in his
chose
All-Star game.
against
So,
his alma
but
mater.
he wants to give his guys the chance to wear that home jersey
That's
one more
true.
time. That's
true.
special.
That's true.
That's special. So there you go. There you have it.
So, yep.
Done.
And then the mock draft starts tomorrow to reveal the players that are coming. So I'm
That'll
sure
be a lot
that,
of fun.
I'm sure that Jackson and Dustin will be watching that to see which players they'll be able to choose from, which ones that will be already guaranteed to their team because of having coaches Hollis and Adams.
Like we said, there are some stars. I'll give a few spoilers. Okay.
No, don't.
Well, you
Remember
already
what
know
happened?
guys like Gage Holman are going to be there. Josh Austin,
Great, you're already giving spoilers. You can't confirm anything. for the
Avery
public.
Harper, who's the leading tackler in the conference.
You're already giving
Riley
spoilers.
Hall.
I'm surprised that.
That's it. I'm going to leave it right there. There's 30 guys coming. That's only 4. Well, then you count the Lighthouse. So 12 guys.
You're making players nervous, man.
You don't. Hey, listen, there's
fans
18 guys right now that people don't know that they're coming.
Yeah.
18.
That's still out of 18, so people are starting to get nervous, man.
Hey. That is
Anyway.
what it is.
So
There you go.
Mock draft Monday. The actual draft is on Thursday. Friday we'll maybe broadcast a pickup basketball. Who knows? But
Maybe we'll do some pickup basketball Thursday, too.
we might. Who knows? And then Friday we will. Excuse me. We just said Friday. We may do the pickup basketball broadcast. Who knows? But then Saturday We will have the game at noon local time as kickoff starts at 11 o'clock Central Standard Time. It's going to be a good All-Star weekend. And then it gets into our next topic, which is the NHSA
Straight
tournament.
from All-Star Game.
Oh, yeah.
To Panama City, because that's how we grind.
Yep, we leave straight down there. It's gonna be great. So we have some news. I think this will be the first time this has ever happened in NHSA history. There are 5 teams going to the tournament. There were going to be 6. I don't remember which team was. I think it was Birchman's.
I think Birchman's Academy out of Louisiana.
Yeah, they unfortunately had to drop out last second. I think due to their state tournament or something.
No,
like
it
that.
was just something with basketball in school.
Yeah.
It's not a huge deal.
Probably conflict. So here's the schedule of how this is going to work. So Saturday at 11 a.m. and again, all the games are down at the resort in Panama City Beach. At 11 o'clock, the Freedom Cowboys collide with the Ezel Harding Eagles for a full game, 48 minutes. 2 p.m., Southern Prep and the PAC Panthers. They play a 30-minute game with 2 15-minute halves. And then at 4 o'clock, the winner of that game collides with the Evangel Christian School Lightning for a 30-minute game with 2 15-minute halves. Following that, on Monday, Game 4, the losing team, either Freedom or Ezel, will face off against the loser of the Southern Prep or the PAC Panthers. That one is also a 30-minute game with 2 15-minute halves. And then, of course, the Central Division II Championship, where replacing the consolation game at 1 o'clock is in between the loser of the 2 o'clock game on Saturday and the 4 o'clock game on Saturday. And then 3 o'clock, it's the Division I Championship between Freedom, Ezel Harding, or either of those 2 teams against whoever wins the game between Evangel and whoever the winner is of that game. It'll be the Division I Championship. And that one is a full 48 minutes. So that's the best system they could put in place because all those 5 teams confirmed. And it was Birchman's last second who wasn't able to make it. So great opportunity, of course, for all the teams to get 2 games in at least. Not the full 48 minutes, but still an opportunity, for them to get 2 games and, of course, play for a national championship.
We need to take an awkward moment real quick. I need you to log me into the internet.
Just click on it and click connect. I just didn't
set
set
is it? Okay.
Yeah, I just didn't set it to connect automatically. Sheesh.
I don't know the password.
That was an awkward moment. You don't have to. It's just I don't have it connecting automatically. Anyways.
Okay. It's the
staff one.
Staff one. Okay. I didn't know if we could say that on air.
It's a great chance for all 5 teams to play for a national championship. Of course, Freedom and Ezel, whoever wins that game, they go straight to the national championship.
You sure you saved the password?
Evangel waiting for that as well. So it's going to be good. But anyways, that's going to be a great tournament.
And just for you folks that don't know a whole lot about the other, obviously everyone here from Tennessee knows Ezel Harding, but I want to take a second, Spencer, and go through some of these other teams that are going to be up there. Yep. Some of these, everyone's very familiar with Freedom. Everybody's very familiar with Freedom.
4-1 against Tennessee opponents, right?
Yep.
Or I think it was 4-1 against Tennessee, and
no,
then
5-1. They played 5 Tennessee teams. They went 4-1, and then they beat Freedom in the Independence Bowl.
Oh yeah, that's right. Freedom beat the Heat in the Independence Bowl. So yeah, 5-1.
So
and then 6-1 against MTAC teams.
No, it's 4-1.
No, it's 4.
4-1 is including all 5.
So they beat CCS. They lost to They beat CCS.
All right,
they
we'll
lost
rebrand
to Riverside.
Forget Tennessee
they
teams.
Beat the
MTAC teams.
Tennessee Heat twice, and then they beat Christian Community. So that's 4-1, and then 5-1 because they beat the Heat twice.
Don't you beat like someone?
Sure.
No, okay. Lost to Riverside.
Okay, regardless, they took one loss to Riverside. Freedom is a great team. It's going to be a great national championship. It's going to be a great matchup between them and Ezel
Riverside.
Harding. They never got the chance to face off
I'm trying to show
against
you the
each
math.
other.
Riverside,
I know exactly what
Bowling
you're saying.
Green, CCS, Tennessee Heat twice, and they beat FCA.
So 5-1.
So 5-1.
Yep.
They're 5-1 against MTAC teams.
They'd be 6-1 against MTAC teams because they beat Bowling Green.
That is including Bowling Green. I just included Bowling Green.
You said CCS.
I said Bowling Green, CCS, FCA, Tennessee Heat.
And then 5-1.
5-1. I got you.
Regardless,
All right,
Ezel Harding has not faced off against the Freedom Cowboys, and the winner of that game goes straight to the Division I championship for the NHSA. Great matchup set for that first game. We won't be there because we'll be at the All-Star game.
We won't be doing any of the games on Saturday, but Monday we'll be there.
Yep, Monday.
Looking forward to being
fun.
there. So the Freedom Cowboys, I'm trying to get this other team pulled up. The Freedom Cowboys, like we just said, 5-1. They also beat a team called Lighthouse Homeschool from there in Alabama. There's a conference that has this Lighthouse Homeschool, Ezekiel, and Evangel in it. For some reason, it's just the 3-team conference. So they beat Lighthouse Homeschool, which was the 3rd team in the conference. They lost to Ezekiel, who was the runner-up in the conference, and then they have not played Evangel. So they're 1-1 with the other Alabama teams. Oh, they did play Evangel. I'm wrong. They did play Evangel and lost to Evangel. So they lost to Evangel and Ezekiel, the top 2 teams in that conference. They beat Banks Academy out of Birmingham, which is in the CFA, with Russell. They beat East Central Homeschool, which is CFA, I believe. So they played 5 Alabama teams, and they won 3 of the games. So we went 3-2 against Alabama teams. So 8-3 overall on their schedule, and they've got some real studs. Guys like Jaden Hermina, Jeremiah Seuss, David Kinney, their quarterback. They tend to run like a Swanee offense, the veer, the very run-heavy offense. So you'll see a lot of ground and pound, and with them playing that first game, it's a full game though, full 48-minute game. But it could take the amount of time that one of these 30-minute games takes, because just the constant running clock, the constant grinding it down. But then you have Ezel Harding on the other side.
How many times did Ezel Harding pass in that championship game?
Twice.
That game
last night, twice.
They only passed twice. Same thing in the semi against Riverside. Ezel is a run-heavy team, so you're right. It's going to be a running clock.
They are, but and I don't know the stats. I know Tennessee Heat scored 21 on them. Riverside did score 56. But FCA only scored 14. CCS only scored 14. And Bowling Green scored 30, and those are teams that like to run the ball. They throw a little bit, but they can run the ball. So, it'd be interesting to see how they do in terms of shutting down the run.
Yep.
Because that's what those teams like to do. So you got Freedom, Ezel Harding, first game, and then the second game is Southern Prep Academy out of Camp Hill, Alabama. They used to be called Lyman Ward Military Academy, and so. And I'll look up their record in just a second. But the Pack Panthers, Providence Athletic, something or another. It says Providence Homeschool here on Max Prep. So they're 10-1. They just won their conference championship last night. So congratulations to them. But they lost, and the team that they beat for the championship, Spencer, the team they beat for the championship, they actually lost to them in the first game of the year by 4 points. So really tight, but 39-0, 45-12, 65-14, 58-6, 55-18, so 35-8, 39-8, so 44-8. Really big wins for this Pack Panthers team. And the other thing, too, is, like I said, they're 10-1. So they've played 11 games already coming into this, which is kind of par for the course. Freedom's played 11 games. Let me look up the Southern Prep. I think they've played 10 games on the year. They're an independent team. They're in Alabama. They do play a lot of your CFA teams. Come on, pull up.
Those CFA teams.
All right, so they're 6-3 on the year. So they're probably the team that had I don't want to say the worst year, but they struggled the most. Hang on. Sweet tea break.
This break is brought to you by Jets Pizza. Get some drinks when you're at Jets
There
Pizza,
you go.
even though they don't have sweet tea.
There
At
you
least
go.
I don't think they do.
It might. I don't know. Probably bottled.
Who has sweet
Probably
tea
bottled.
with their pizza?
People from the South, Spencer.
You?
Sweet tea goes with everything.
Seriously?
Specifically Milo's sweet tea,
My
not
brother,
a sponsor.
my brother drinks unsweet tea. I just don't drink tea at all. I need to start drinking honey tea. That might be the thing to repair my throat.
Wait, your brother does what?
He drinks unsweet tea.
Where was he born?
He was born in Texas, Fort Worth. Military base.
Explains it.
What's the problem with that?
It's not
the South.
No,
Yes, it is.
don't
Texas.
you even
Texas
try to
is
tell me
the
that Texas
South.
is the South.
Okay,
Texas
you know what?
is not
Look,
the South.
North, south, east, west. Look down. South is Texas. That's south of the border.
Guess what? New Mexico is not South.
Yeah, it is. It's considered part of the southwestern Tennessee.
It's West.
Southwestern.
Texas is part of
United
the West.
States. No,
Mississippi
west from
River
where?
splits it.
West from where?
Mississippi River splits it.
Okay.
Everything west of
In
the
that case-
Mississippi
In that case,
is west,
Okay.
not south.
By that logic, yes. But if you're looking at a compass and you look at the United States, that's part of the south part of the United States. Like that's part of New Mexico is southwest.
Texas is not the South.
Yes, it is. It's
No,
the
it
direct
is
south. You look at the
not.
middle of the country.
This coming from the guy that didn't
Kansas,
take
it's south.
geography.
I
Now
know
you're going to
what
claim to be a maps expert? How does this work? What kind of screwed up logic is this? Gee whiz. Anyways, sweet tea goes good with every meal. All right, Southern Prep.
Milo's, please pay us.
Hey, listen.
I think we passed our headquarters.
If
when we went down to that,
no, they have restaurants. They have fast food restaurants in Alabama.
We probably passed the city, like when we were driving down the interstate.
Probably.
65,
They're in
we probably
Bessemer.
passed it. But yeah, we saw one of their stores.
Hey, Milo's, holla
Please pay us.
at your boy.
The
Boys, whatever.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, so
Boys in the city.
Southern Prep, they had a forfeit the first game of the week, first game of the year. They beat a team 40-0. They play a lot of Georgia teams being on the eastern side of Alabama. So they beat two Georgia teams 40-0, 61-0. Lost to Lighthouse Homeschool, which is that third team it's called the ACSC, the Alabama Christian Sports Conference. But only lost to them by 3 points, 38-35. North River Christian, they beat from CFA. Coosa Valley, that was a forfeit win. Trinity Christian Homeschool, which is an independent team, I believe. They did lose 70-60. Lost to Cornerstone Christian 28-20. Lost to Central Christian, or beat Central Christian 21-0, which was an 11-man game. So they play a few 11-man games. And then they'll be at the tournament. So they're 6-3. Some good solid wins. 30 guys on their roster. So that's the second game. Southern Prep and Pack Panthers.
Uh-huh.
And then your third game, like you said, is Evangel. And they're waiting for the winner of that second game because it is a shortened game. So, I mean, it's pretty much like a half and a quarter. A half and half a quarter. 30 minutes. So, waiting for the winner of Southern Prep and Pack, which Pack could win. Pack is 10-1.
I guess it's better for Evangel to get that shorter game in prep for the championship game, almost like less than 24 hours.
They're the
later.
defending champs.
They are,
so they should get
a rest.
the benefit of the
That's
doubt.
the question of why you put Freedom and Ezel Harding at that full regular game first, and don't put like Southern Prep and Pack Panthers and such
because you're
of the
trying
way
to
the way their
avoid an
rankings
Alabama
are.
championship.
Which is fair.
Because here's the thing, Pack, they got the game of Southern Prep, and then if they win that, they go play Evangel. They could beat Evangel. It'd take a lot. Evangel's a stacked football
they're a
team,
stacked team.
but they could beat Evangel. So then we could have a Pack Ezel Harding championship, Tennessee, South Carolina, or a Pack Freedom, which would be South Carolina, Alabama.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of different ways this could go.
Man, it's already dark outside, man.
I
This
know.
whole daylight
It
savings
sucks.
thing. This whole daylight
so bad.
I don't think daylight savings should exist. Changed my mind.
Well, you probably think the world is flat, too.
No.
Really?
No. I just think that daylight savings, it's that as humans, we're nocturnal. This is getting a little bit way off from football.
No, we're not getting into this.
Sunrise to sundown.
We're not getting into this.
So I don't know why you need daylight savings.
Anyways.
Anyway.
We don't really need to talk about Evangel. They're 8-2.
What else can be said?
Unbeaten in 8-man, though.
It's just 2 losses in 11-man games.
Because
they're only experimenting with that. That's the question of when Evangel might ever consider the move to go to 11-man.
Well,
I don't think they will.
Well, there's a lot of complications in terms of the 11-man conference that handles a lot of your private and Christian schools, the AISA. the competition. The Evangel can't really join the conference, but they can play the teams in the conference.
Yep.
So they won an 11-man game, lost an 11-man game, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about 8-man games, okay? So they beat Ezel Harding. They beat Freedom.
Yep.
Both 8-man games. They beat Ezekiel, 8-man. They beat Lighthouse, 8-man. And then they beat Ezekiel for the championship. So in terms of 8-man games, they're 5-0. Very dominant 5-0, might I add. So you almost have to, I mean, between Evangel, PAC, and Ezel Harding, 3 state champions. And then with Southern Prep and Freedom, you have 2 independent teams. One went 8-3, one went 6-3. Those are 2 pretty good independent teams too, and they could really shake things up. I mean, Freedom beat almost everybody from MTAC.
Almost, yeah.
Well, Heat technically aren't MTAC; they're Tennessee, so.
Well, they were
MTAC at the time for the first game.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a great tournament. It's going to be a lot of fun. Like you said, we won't have the game Saturday because we've got All-Star game, but Monday we'll be down there. We'll at least get you video of the teams, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
We're still trying to figure
We
out
will
the
have, though,
championship.
Next Sunday at 4, we will have a special episode of Extreme Radio live from Panama City, Florida.
Yep, finale.
Is it the finale?
Yeah.
You don't want to do another show to recap Monday?
No.
No,
we don't have
All
to.
right.
Like that's what we.
Well, I guess we did just have the. I guess we did just have the talk that we would have on that last show just now about all the teams that could come in.
Yeah, exactly.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Trying to free up your Sunday before Thanksgiving.
Yeah. But I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
granted, last year we did have the last show. This time last year because of All-Star Game and the National Championship was at Dayton.
Well, All-Star Game was this weekend last year.
Yeah. So
it would have been. Yeah, it would have been next Sunday.
Yeah.
No, it would have been today.
Because the National
Today
Championship
would have been the last show. You're right.
Yeah. So next week
You're
will
right.
be the season finale, and then we get into the national championships. Because there's only there's the tournament to recap. Just those.
There's
3
always
games from
social
that,
media.
But, I mean, yeah, social media.
Be some social media stuff, but hey,
we'll do the finale
listen.
from Panama
This
City.
tournament is going to be a blast. There's some really good teams going to be at this tournament.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to seeing some good football.
Oh, yeah.
From teams outside of Tennessee. I mean, we've seen some Alabama teams, but I haven't seen Southern Prep play this year.
Nope.
And I haven't seen the PAC Panthers play.
Nope.
I've seen the other 3 play. So I'm pretty excited to see this. I would have been excited to see the Louisiana team too.
Yeah, if Birchman's made it, that would have been.
But a big shout out to Mr. Hank St. Dennis, who helps run the NHSA and the tournament down there. He's done a great job. He got put in a bad situation, not bad situation, but a tough situation with having 5 teams down there.
Yep.
That's not ideal. But making the best of what he's got.
Didn't he usually have 4 teams down there?
Wasn't
it usually just the 2 semis?
No, because 2017 there were 6 teams down there.
Okay.
And then I think 2015 maybe there were 4.
Okay.
So it varies from year to year.
Yeah, depends on how many get in there. But I mean, making the best of the situation with 5 teams.
The point is, you just want the best. Like last year, Evangel CCS, they're the best teams.
Yep.
They should have been there. They were there. It's a good championship.
Yeah, even if Tyler Anderson didn't have to show up in that game.
Exactly.
But
he did.
He didn't. Really,
not what he did this year as a senior, but in terms of how he played last year.
He didn't have any passing touchdowns in the game. It was all rush heavy. That's why Noah Shears got the MVP.
Really?
Henderson barely
You're saying
did
he didn't
anything.
have any touchdowns?
No. Maybe 1 passing touchdown, but he hardly passed. It was a rush heavy.
You just said he didn't have any passing
I
touchdowns.
said maybe 1.
All right, so it was 36-20.
Yep.
Hang on, I want to see. They have the stats up. Oh, I got to sign back into Max Preps. Anyways, we'll get the breakdown next Sunday. We got to leave you on a cliffhanger for something.
Well, that's all we got for the show today. Really, I mean, just a 1 game to recap. All-Star stuff, of course, it goes this week. Just a reminder for schedule this week. Mock draft is tomorrow from the Highway 96 Chick-Fil-A in Franklin, and of course, if you do a $10 donation towards,
there was none, by the way.
No passing
touchdowns.
I told you.
You were right.
I told you. I said maybe 1 just to cover my
Actually,
bases,
I
but
don't know because there's no stats up from that game. So I could be right.
Could be. It's probably going to stay permanently there unless you go back and watch the broadcast profusely and then
Isaiah.
Yeah, or Isaiah goes back and watches it. Who knows? But
Anyways, like you were saying, come on out to the Chick-fil-A, a live show.
The Chick-Fil-A Extreme All-Star Game mock draft is tomorrow at 7 p.m. Highway 96, Chick-fil-A location in Franklin. If you do a $10 donation, that goes towards 8-Man Extreme and our broadcasting efforts to give exposure to 8-man athletes, primarily private Christian schools who we cover. But if you do a $10 donation, Chick-fil-A is going to give you a free meal. Not only that, but tomorrow there are chicken minis.
I was about to mention that if you forgot
Mini Mondays, where 8 p.m. to close, which they close at about 10 p.m., something like that. We'll be there. I love chicken minis. But from 8 p.m. to close, they sell chicken minis.
I know we talked about this last week, but you know what we should do this year? Instead of a hot sauce thing,
We
should see chicken nuggets. Because they're chicken nuggets.
I think you mentioned this, and Isaiah said how many he could stuff
How
in there.
many chicken nuggets? Okay, we could change it. We could either do how many chicken nuggets in a minute, or how many can you fit in your mouth?
Let's just do mouth, because that way you're not risking anybody having to do some overtime to clean up the floors.
Nobody have to do overtime cleaning.
If you have to stuff yourself, eventually your body regurgitates it back out.
No, it doesn't?
It can.
It's for weak people who
It
have a
can.
weak stomach.
Yeah, Isaiah.
Yeah, that's true.
Why do you think I ate more spicy wings than him in that
very
Blaze It
true.
Challenge last year?
Maybe it should be me versus you.
I'm still salty that he didn't do his saxophone halftime show thing. I'm still salty about that. Because he said,
well, maybe we could get him on a performance this year.
I want Lil Burb to do the halftime show.
By the way, the giveaway to get free Chick-fil-A for a year ended last night.
Yep.
So you missed out on your chance.
We still don't have paid entries, unfortunately, but it is what it is.
Missed out on your chance, but Saturday at the All-Star Game at halftime, we will do the drawing.
Yep.
Somebody's going to win 52 free meal cards.
Yep. Someone's going to win free Chick-fil-A for a
over
year.
$400 worth of Chick-fil-A.
Yep, just for entering maybe $20 or
you could do either way, either from 10 to as many entries as you want.
Something like that. Yeah, you could.
The more entries you have, the better chance you have of winning.
Exactly.
That's how it works with everything.
So Monday mock draft, be there at the Chick-fil-A Highway 96. Thursday we'll have the actual draft for the 2019 Chick-fil-A All-Star Game live from Dayton, Tennessee.
Did you mention what time it starts tomorrow night?
I was about to.
Sorry.
I said 7 p.m. I said 7 p.m. for the mock draft.
Did you? Okay.
Noon. It actually starts at noon Central Time for the mock draft on Thursday, 1 p.m. local time. Then Friday we may do a pickup basketball broadcast. Who knows? We'll do something.
We'll do one Thursday and Friday.
We'll see what we can do.
We got good Wi-Fi in the gym.
We do, but I know we've tried doing broadcasts for it at some points and it hasn't worked that well. But then Saturday we've got the actual game that starts at 12 local time, which will be 11 a.m. on Saturday for the 2019 Chick-fil-A Extreme All-Star Game.
Don't get that mixed up. Just plan on being there at 11 o'clock.
Of course, yeah.
And then whether you're there at 11 o'clock Central or Eastern, you're still on time. Now, we will mention this closer to time. Again, want to make sure everyone knows the gate.
It's $5.
$5 for kids, $10 for adults.
Yep.
And there's a carload limit of $25. So if you bring in a carload of 5 people, let's say it's 3 adults, 2 kids, instead of paying $40, you're going to pay $25.
And we do accept credit cards.
And we do credit cards. We have a PayPal reader.
We have credit card capabilities now.
Bam.
Especially even if you have Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, any of those, you can tap your phone and
I'll leave that up to you because I don't know how to do all that fancy
technology. It's all on the reader. They just hold it close and then tap.
That's true.
So, All-Star Weekend. It's going to start soon. All-Star Week has already begun today.
It's here today.
It began today with the coin toss, and it continues with the mock draft tomorrow.
Let the speculation begin. Team Dotterer, the first overall pick.
Yep. Who's he going to take?
Who is Steve Adams and Jackson Dotterer going to take?
Gage Holman.
Take Gage Holman? Josh Austin?
That's the question.
Riley Hall?
Would they rather want Gage Holman or Josh Austin? Because those are some of the 2 high prospects.
Well, Riley Hall.
Riley Hall's in the mix, too. I'm not discrediting him. It's just when you compare, Josh Austin, you said he's the best player in the league according to the James Shannon Index. So that's what I'm going on.
Who's the other guy I mentioned?
Gage Holman, second.
No, I mentioned Josh Austin, Gage Holman, Riley Hall, and there was somebody else. Oh, Avery Harper from CCS.
Yeah, he could possibly be the first pick. Who knows?
Could be.
But,
If you want a solid tackler with over 100 tackles,
they'll probably take Josh Austin, though, because of Jack of all trades. Who knows? Or Gage Holt. But, again, it's still going to be a great
that's what I'm
All-Star
saying.
game.
Even with both coaches automatically getting their 4 players, even with that, there's still 22 more players to get picked. And again, it's like tomorrow night in the mock draft. If you don't get picked in the first 3 rounds, it's not because you're not good. You're still an All-Star.
Yeah.
There's an average of 240 guys playing 8-man football in Tennessee.
Yep.
Actually, it's probably closer to 200. You're in the top 30 of those guys.
Yep.
So even if you get picked in the last round of the draft, guess what?
That
still means you're number 30 out of 200 guys.
Exactly. Which isn't bad.
Pretty good.
I wonder what the ratio is on that. You can rest out 3 out of 20.
Guess what? In the NFL, there's 200 and something picks? No, there's more than that. Say there's 250 picks in the NFL draft. Guess what? Pick number 30, it's still first round.
It's not bad.
So there you go.
That's going to wrap it up for Extreme Radio presented by GracePointe Healthcare. Go to GracePointeHealthcare.com. Request your appointment online. Mention you're with 8-Man Extreme. You get $20 off your new patient office visit fee. GracePointe Healthcare, modern medicine the old-fashioned way. Also sponsored by Dr. Sterling Foster. Visit drsterlingfoster.com for all your digestive issues and chiropractic needs.
I was doing the speaker. Hey, listen, we're going to let you know. Maybe we should get Jets Pizza for the draft.
Is there a Jets Pizza in Dayton?
I don't know, but we're about to find out. But hey, no matter where you are, whether you're in Dayton, Panama City, Timbuktu, Springfield, Clarksville, Fort Campbell,
they've only got one in Chattanooga. So
Goodlettsville.
It'd be 40 minutes away.
No matter where you are, it's always a great time to say, let's get Jets. Is there one in Cleveland? See if there's one in Cleveland. I think there is one in Cleveland.
Let me go to Jets Pizza real quick. Let's see here.
And always, folks, we like to give you a PSA. Don't eat too much Jets Pizza. You're going to have issues. You're going to have to come visit Dr. Sterling Foster, GracePointe Healthcare. If you choose to go to your own doctor, you're going to have insurance. That's why you check out our guy, Joe Graves, IHateBuyingInsurance.com. See what he can do for you. Go check out the website.
There is not.
That is
Cleveland. Chattanooga.
That is terrible. That is insane. There needs to be one there.
There's looking at the east side. There's several in Knoxville. I'm sure
it's too far.
Yeah.
Although it's never too far to go to get Jets Pizza.
No, of course not. There's one in Chattanooga. That's the closest one in the entire area.
All right, we'll make it work. But hey, listen, Jets Pizza. IHateBuyingInsurance.com, GracePointe Healthcare, Dr. Sterling Foster. Super thankful for all these people bringing the show.
We'll get into that next
I'm
week,
just saying.
We're thankful
super thankful for them bringing the show.
That wraps it up. All-Star Week continues tomorrow with the mock draft for James Shannon, Isaiah Austin, all the hardworking men and women that make 8-Man Extreme successful. J.D. Young, of course. Spencer Thompson saying, we'll see you for the mock draft tomorrow from Chick-Fil-A.
See ya!